What's wrong with this thing? Oh, there we go. Alright. I think it's working now. I think it's working. Can you hear me? I doth ask. I'm the 404 guy, 7HE404GUI. Back with some Kerbal Space Program. The much anticipated. It's been out of the game for just a little while, but of course, as always, before we get started...
Warning. This program contains coarse humor and a sense of language that some people might not share. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright. So I've been thinking about what we can do here. I mean, some science data from the surface of Moho might actually be something we should do. What do we have active? Oh, crap. Okay, well, let's clear out a couple of these. What is this one? Okay. This is one I've got to do soon. Surface of Minimus, that was free money. Why didn't I do that before the episode started? I don't know. That's what we'll do now, then. Let's see. Mini Moose. Lend me your strength. Well, where's something? There we go. Rover Boy. Gonna love that good old Rover Boy. It's funny, I never actually ended up using him too much. He just sat there idle for such a long time. Where is this guy? Here we go. Look at that Rover Boy. He's got a rocket strapped to the bottom of him, which has never been used. Pretty much ever. Yeah, we can transmit that. Why the hell not? Where's his tail? Oh, that's... Of course that's what he's sending data from. He's not so much headstrong, but he's got strengths elsewhere, as we can see. Alright, Rover Boy, you do your thing, and he's done. And there we see it, oh, yeah, it retracted in. Okay. Let's go back to the Space Center. That completes one of the required missions. I gotta clear out this missions inventory here. I got too much on the go here. Look at this. Like, how could I accept all these? So irresponsible of me. So, surface of Moho. This will resolve itself sooner or later. Eve, I don't really care about Eve. And Elu. So Elu deadline is 49 years. Moho deadline is 34 years. So we're going to Moho first. But wait, just how far is Elu? I wonder. Is Elu in a bad spot right now? Because it might need to... hold off for a little while. What are we looking at in terms of the zooms? Okay, Elu is on the farthest part of its orbit. Or it's going to be if we try to get to it now. So the Moho mission makes more sense. Moho being decently close. Alright. So we're going to try and land on the surface of Moho, I guess. That's the goal. If it loads and doesn't crash, let's see. What are we going to be running to Moho with? I think I used a Jewel interceptor for Moho the first time. I forget. How much is this? I don't know how much this mission is worth. But whatever this mission is worth, it must be enough to use an Elu interceptor. Alright. Now I'm going to make a quick modification to this guy, since we are going to be landing on the surface. That modification is... we only need 3 of these. Chigong! That's way too short. Wait, no, that's fine. Wait, I don't need 4 of them. I don't need 6 of them. I need 3 of them. Here we go. Alright, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Landing gear. For landing. That'll work. Alright. So this will allow us to land on the surface of Moho, I hope. I'm guessing this is massively overkill. Simply because, well, it probably is. We're probably going to land on the surface of Moho, and we're going to still have our main stage intact. But we shall see. I'm thinking we're getting close to, like, I don't know how many episodes of this I can do. Because I've got, like, an orbiter around everything now. Alright, where are we in our orbit? We want to be going this way. So, we want to take off. Yeah, give it a few hours. Oh boy, too much. Okay, there we go. And away we go. I will never learn. This is the loudest set of engines possible for this mission. Alright. So, this cost us a pretty penny right here. I think this mission only pays 200,000. We just spent 500,000 on the rocket. So, this is going to be like mostly a losing mission. But at the same time, I mean, look at that. Our Kerbals are literally rolling in it. All that science data is just going to build up, so yeah. I still haven't done that Eve thing. That can do whenever. I'm thinking, when is the appropriate time to do a mission to the sun? Or is it even possible? I imagine I would need a lot of radiators. I tried that one mission to the sun before, and it just blew up halfway there. So it is possible that we might not actually be able to get that close. I wonder. That'll be for another episode, I think. Let's see how well this does. I'm not going to use Time Warp while it's doing this part of the stage, because I know it's just going to rip itself to pieces. Alright, let's do that at least. We can deploy the air shield. That actually looks pretty cool with the particle effect. Alright, how we doing? How we doing? Everything's intact. Okay, we need to beware here, because as soon as we do this, this is going to smash our solar panels to bits. So, there we go. Yeah, I figured landing on the sun would be impossible. Kind of like on Jewel. You can't land on Jewel either. But as for how close you can get, can you skim the atmosphere, I wonder? I doubt you can skim the atmosphere. It would be like such intense heat at that altitude, but I don't know. Has someone ever done it before? I imagine people have tried. I mean, theoretically, if you wanted to, you could just skip in, you know, ignore fuel limitations and thermal limitations, and then see how close it gets and what temperature. But I don't know. I've never really figured out the cheats menu on this game, so I haven't been able to try that myself. So this is a spacecraft that was designed to intercept Elu. But the question is, can it intercept Moho? Which it probably can. Just that it needs to have the encouragement to do so. I'm surprised. This stage is actually burning up a lot more fuel than I expected. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright. That looks good. We'll set our target now. Oh, I thought I saw it. Hold on. Get it nice and close there. Alright, it's not predicting the proximity. That's lovely. Okay, let's just warp it out of there. Because yeah, I was using the ion engine on the one episode, and that was before I discovered that you could time warp with the engines powered on. So that, I think it ended up taking like a solid 6 hours. I just had my computer sitting there and then I cut it into a time lapse. Oh, here we go. Alright. I don't know what this is for. I think one of my Sentinel missions might be failed. No? Sentinel 19 Eve orbit. I think this guy might be in the wrong orbit now. I think he may have been slightly perturbed by Moho. I think. Alright, what am I going to do here? I am going to... That's a 7-degree offset. Let's bring that down at least. Oops. Alright. So yeah, we're going to try and get a little closer to Moho then. Not gonna go too crazy with it, but I'm going to go crazy enough. Alright, currently we've used up very little fuel. So I can anticipate... Oh wait, no. This fuel's going to run out somewhere around there. But that should still allow us to get reasonably close. Oh, the Sentinel's doing its job. Awesome. Alright, that Sentinel mission's going to be finished by the time we even get to Moho. Hold on. Watch for the money. That Sentinel mission is going to pay off this mission. Because this mission is incapable of paying itself off. Almost. There we go. Check it. Okay, the Sentinel mission didn't pay off this mission either. This mission is basically just a giant cash drain. Wow, it's a lot of unknown objects. Alright, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. How is this gonna work here? This is gonna work well here, is what I say. 1:05 of burn time. That should be... Yeah, we can start. I guess right about here should work. Alright. How'd that work? What's that, Alt dot? There we go. Speed that up a wee bit there. Oh. Hey, I thought it said stage 3 was going to run out. Okay. Well. I guess stage 3 will not burn out. That gives us plenty to work with. Alright, let's see how that does. How doth that fare? Alright, that works for me. Looks good. Looks good. Now, to Moho. This is definitely gonna cut the fuel. Okay, that's a bit too far. Oops. So basically, you're just going to find where the two orbits intersect. That's pretty close. That's actually really close. That's... I think if I went a bit earlier, that would work. Alright. How's that? Okay. Okay, clearly I was wrong when I said earlier. I meant to say later. bit later. A bit later like Darth Vader. There we go. Alright, that didn't work at all. That leaves me questioning everything. Perhaps I have done something wrong. Hold on. That's how close it says with this. I swear we can get closer. There, that's what I'm looking for, right there. Why wasn't it showing me that one? That's what I wanted. Alright. Alright, how close is that going to bring us? Not very. But I think I can get a stable orbit from that, then we can bring ourselves into the surface. What is the gravitational acceleration? We're looking at about 0.3 Gs. Alright, so roughly the same acceleration as what we'd experience on the moon. Not bad at all. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna have to disable those sentinels. They're discovering too many objects and it's lagging out my game. Wow, look at all this. It's gotta track so much crap. Where do I disable them? There. That ought to work. Okay, we got a pretty long burn time ahead of us, so I'm gonna get started on this early. This guy... Fingers crossed. See, we got a little bit of instability there at 3 times. I'm gonna have to keep it at that. Okay, here we go. Boom, and away we go. Oh no, is this stuck? Why isn't this letting go? Ah. Hold on. There we go. And away we go. Alright. Get the landing gear down just in case. You never know when you might land in the middle of space. Alright, we're good to go. Wow, this is actually much slower acceleration than anticipated. Much, much slower. Wait a minute. This is going to be going for... Wait. 12 minutes. So 12 minutes divided by 4, that's still going to be 3 minutes. Seem to have something caught in my throat. Alright. Well, at least this central fuel stack should be pretty safe for a while. We get extra bonus points for the sun? Actually, we do. That's pretty cool. I'm very much surprised that this is actually saying 8 minutes. I thought it was going to be significantly less than that. Okay. On the plus side, though, we've got, like... Since this thing went to Elu, I overpacked with fuel here. This is, like... Actually, what's my acceleration? I should probably be concerned about my acceleration rate, because 1.9 meters per second squared, that's not nearly enough of what we would need for landing on the surface of Moho. We'd be, like... We'd be full engines, and yet the gravity would still be overcoming us. That's a mild concern there. I'm thinking if we ditch the side tanks, though. I think if we ditch the side tanks, that should give us the extra push that we need. If not, then I'm going to have to figure out some way to jettison fuel, because that's going to be mucho problemo. Although I'm pretty good at wasting fuel, so I think I can do that. What do we got here? 3 minutes. That's about another minute in real life. Yeah, there isn't a single planet that I haven't visited now on this playthrough. Although there's a few I haven't landed on. Okay. Once we get close here, I'm going to have to start fine-tuning. I'm all about the single shot. Just kick it once and then pray that it goes to the right location. I don't like having a lot of multiple steps in the process towards getting towards my towards the goal. That is. All right, here we go. Last 20 seconds. And regular speed. We got 9 seconds to go. Let's see how this goes. All right. Slow and steady. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's looking actually pretty good. Just bring it in a wee bit more. Doesn't even have to be a lot. There we go. That's looking really good now. Look at that. All right, 247,000. That is right where we want to be. All right. Not sure that these engines will be able to stop us in time though, but that gets us pretty damn close. So, literally all we have to do is warp there now. This is 126. 2 hours. Yeah, okay. Let's warp there. Whoa. Oh, wow. That's in like a year. Whoops. Oh, well. Wait, that's not a year, is it? Oh. I got confused. Okay, here we go. We're on the running stretch now. Now we're on the inside track. We're moving faster. Look at this thing. Why is this lagging so much? This game has never lagged so much for me as it has in this past... What has this been? 20 minutes? Wow. Wow. 23 minutes, man. Ooh. Don't got to worry about using up those auxiliary tanks there. Jeez. So there you have it. Moho is actually a little bit more difficult to get to than Elu. So where is this? This is 36 minutes and 7. This is 40 minutes and 20. So if we actually wait until here, we're going to be basically exiting. So I got to start like 34.40 to 45. No, that's still 29.5 to 40. Yeah, 29, right around here. That is a very significant amount of burn time. I'm thinking I might just leave this. Although I can't. No, you can't. You can't leave a. You can't leave a spacecraft burning while you go to visit another one. It'll just shut off the engines. Well, let's burn here anyway. I mean, 22 minutes divided by 4. That's still a heck of a long time. It's like 5 minutes we're going to be sitting here. So, I guess I could do an AMA in the chat if there's any questions. Questions, challenges. I don't know. Let's take a look at, oops. I mean, all in all, this is a sound strategy here. It's a sound strategy. It's just taken a very long time. Why is this thing lagging so? Maybe I can try and figure out the source of the lag. Got a dead probe. We got a comm thingy. I mean, if we look at all these other planets, if we go to Eve, for example, take a look at Eve. Right, we've got multiple satellites in orbit of Eve. We don't have anything near Gilly, but that's just because Gilly isn't terribly interesting in my opinion. If we go over to Duna... Wait a minute. What's this red guy? Ooh, I think that's telling us we might not have enough fuel. Kerbal planes. That's a good question. I tried doing it once. And I basically realized that I don't have, you know, a lot of really sound knowledge for designing space or designing in-atmosphere aircraft for Kerbal's space program, because the dynamics aren't quite accurate to what I would call like something worthy of being a flight simulator. So like I've actually kind of played around and actually flown on professional flight simulators that they use for training airline pilots. And those are extremely accurate, although the graphics aren't so good. In this case, we have a game which is really good graphics and very extendable to multiple planets and everything, but physically, in terms of flying within the atmosphere, it doesn't tend to be quite as accurate. So... you know, I kind of have some problems when I try to fly an aircraft within Kerbal's atmosphere. It just doesn't fly the way that I would expect it to. It would be fun, though, to try and design, like, a bunch of different airplanes and just kind of see what kind of designs I can get. So I might try doing that in one of the future episodes. Wow, this thing is taking its time, isn't it? I think, oh yeah, way back in the day, like really early on my YouTube channel, I did a Kerbal space program attempting to land a very simple rocket design on top of a building. That was an interesting one. I had to try and figure out how I would land it on top of a building while the building just kept crumbling. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking this is gonna run out of fuel, actually. Oh no, if this runs out of fuel, that's gonna be really bad. I'm gonna jettison these fuel tanks the first chance I get. Which means I'm gonna have to retract a couple of these. Wow, actually, I'm not getting any electricity off of these. So I really don't need them here, do I? They're completely blocked by Moho. So yeah, Kerbal space planes or Kerbal in-atmosphere planes, that's probably something that I will pick up on again sometime in the future. Alright, last drops of fuel. I'm going to jettison these because they need to go. Oh wow. Yeah, this is considerably more difficult than I had anticipated. Yeah, the nuclear engine has energy output. I always get nervous when I retract the solar panels, because I've been burned so many times where I actually renamed a probe. I'm not sure if you saw it previously. I renamed a probe Dead Probe because I forgot to set up the solar panels, and it died on its way out of Kerbal. So it's just a dead probe where the solar panels aren't extended. I might try and salvage that at some point. Alright, here we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And give it a couple more seconds. We're going to kick this thing right out of high gear. And save. Bye-bye. There we go. Wow. Alright, this is curving around. We're going to do good. We're going to do good. We're going to get into orbit. Now, as you'll recall, when we went to Elu, we still had those auxiliary tanks. I believe if I'm not mistaken, right down until we decided to touch the surface almost. So this is proving to use significantly more fuel trying to get to Moho, which is actually a very interesting principle that it's proving there. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a maneuver right up there. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Add a maneuver right up there. Just get ourselves above the surface. Get ourselves nice and up above the surface there. I just don't want to go plummeting into the ground just yet. There we go. Alright, that seems like a good altitude, but I want to go higher. There we go. That'll give me enough to recover with. And now, last but not least, boom. That'll get us landing on the ground. That's what I want. 3 minutes of burn time. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, that's always a cool one. I mean, if you want to get outside of the solar system, you can use like a gravity sling. Oh, I should be burning now. I think there's a probe that's just passing by. What was it? It was it's an asteroid or an object in the Kuiper belt, and they basically used a couple different planets as a gravity sling to kind of basically accelerate it out there. I don't know. I don't think the general population really appreciates how difficult that is to actually pull that off, especially with something that you're trying to punch into orbit from the ground. Like that's. I don't know. Seems like all the, yeah, Ultimate Thule, that's it. Feels like all the conflict that's going on Earth is just kind of meaningless in the long run. You consider like, oh crap, we're running out of electricity. Look at that. Oh, no, we're not. We almost ran out of electricity. That's because I didn't put these back out. We almost had a dead probe on our hands. That would have been bad. Okay. Let's just get those out there. Alright, this is looking like a good approach here. So I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I absolutely hate landing in the dark. So we're going to make sure that we land on the light side of the Moho. Whoops. Retrograde. There we go. Does anyone else have difficulties landing on the dark side of the planets? I don't know. I just feel like without having a ground reference, it's nearly impossible. Yeah, I can see that happening. A different perspective. I guess really when you actually do something significant, you get it kind of gives you a different perspective to begin with. Alright, let's bring this down a little bit here. Don't want to plummet into the ground, but at the same time we don't want it to take forever. And there we go. On our way to the surface, plenty of fuel. Absolutely plenty. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We have the acceleration. We have more than enough acceleration. We're gonna do just fine. I just set up a death flag for myself by saying that I'm gonna be just fine. That's a classic video game trope. So now we're gonna plummet into the surface. Now before we do that, I'm gonna just quickly save, because that has been A solid 35 minutes that I don't have to redo if I screw this up somehow. Alright. Let's see if I can drop this just a little bit here. We are at full time warp, heading towards the surface. What do we got here? Isn't really telling us how close we are per se. About a minute. Okay. T plus 404 days. Yep, that's how long it took to get here. Ah, the overview effect. That sounds like a movie. And actually, that sounds like it'd be a pretty cool movie too, if it was to detail that exact phenomena that you were describing. That would be that'd be one to watch. All right, here we go. Surface altitude unknown, but surface velocity perfectly known. The first thing I'm going to do when I land on the surface is I'm going to finish that mission. Okay, we're getting pretty close now. I want to keep this guy under, I don't know, let's keep him under... What's a nice arbitrary speed? Let's keep him around 40 until we can really see the ground. Where's our shadow going to be? See, this is why I only land when it's daytime. If I try to land when it's nighttime, I'll never be able to use that shadow as a reference. I don't see it, though. I feel like we're close. Oh, wow. Ha! Stuff's heating up now. Look at that. Okay, there's our shadow. There we go. Alright, let's get it up to 25. Alright, get her down to 15. 15, boy. There's our shadow reference right there. That's the only thing that I have to judge how high above the ground I am. I really wish that they would implement ground altitude. Let's stop the time warp there. Because imagine how much more you could get done if you knew your altitude above ground level, as opposed to some arbitrary sea level, which doesn't even exist on Moho. I guess Moho could have like lead, a lake of lead somewhere on the surface of Moho. That'd be pretty cool. All right, here we go. Here we go. The running stretch. There we go. Alright, get us up to 10. Come on. Alright, keeping ourselves in. 7 meters per second. That's good approach speed. We're going to drop that right down to about 2 right before we land. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We will be landing on the surface of Moho in just a moment. Here we go. Bringing it down to 2. Oh, well, we went a little far, didn't we? Over there. Just a little. Ah, there we go. Right. Oh, don't bounce off. All right, there we go. Okay, it is bouncing off, regardless of what I just said. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have landed on the surface of Moho. Congratulations are in order. Where's our science instruments? Wow. Log the pressure data on that one. Did I include a thermometer? Ah, yes I did. How hot is this? This is going up. 700 Kelvin. Omedetou gozaimasu. Yeah, 700 Kelvin. That's pretty high. All right. That's good information to have there. What about the gravity? There we go. I mean, this is all, I guess you would call it light change, given the amount of science data that we do have. But this is pretty useful. All right. Surface of Moho is complete. Wait a minute. I want to use this one. Apparently, apparently that location is about 2,000 meters above sea level. See what I mean? If I was trying to land in the dark, I would never know that. Yeah, I don't get the temperature measurements on this game. For every single unit that they have so far, they're using metric, and then... Well, I guess they're not using metric time. What do we got? What do we got? I don't know a single person who uses metric time. This mission has already been completed, hasn't it? Let's do it again. Let's see. What was the next one? The next one was satellite in orbit of Elu, in a stationary orbit. $500°C. What is that in real degrees? It says Mirroresque. I prefer radians myself. That's just me. Alright, so we got this Sentinel mission. I'm going to double check on that one Sentinel satellite that I got orbiting there, because I'm 90% certain. 90% certain that it's already in the correct orbit. Yeah, some people use degrees, I use radians. You may say that radians are not a measure of temperature. Well, haha. They aren't. That's what makes it unique. So let's see. Is this in the correct orbit? I think it is. Like 90% certain that it is. Is it? It is. It's in the orbit. Okay, so that's literally another one of those missions where you just set it and forget it. Yeah. Kelvin and Celsius, those are on the same scale, just like there's Fahrenheit and Rankine. Those are also on the same scale, but then absolute zero in Rankine is absolute zero in Kelvin as well. So, if that was able to get to the surface of Moho so easily, then it should be able to get into a stationary orbit of Elu much easier. So let's load that up. And literally, I just got to do the exact same thing, only heading towards Elu instead. That's going to be kind of boring. So what I want to do instead, this was asked in that AMA portion at the start of the episode. Let's try a space plane of some kind, just a random space plane design. Let's see what we can get, and that might just end up being the best space plane ever designed. Let's see. I'm going to start with one of these. So far, it's looking good. I'm curious. Do Americans still spell sulfur with an F? Because according to international standards, sulfur is supposed to be spelled with a PH. Now that I've said that, I'm probably gonna have like a sudden war zone in the comments section about how wrong I am. But I am curious. Sulfur. Sulfur spelled with a PH or with a U. Whoops, wrong one. Here we go. No, I need lift. It's, okay, that's way too big. Let's see here. I mean, I guess this'll work. Put one delta wing there. Ah, this feels wrong. This feels wrong. This is too... This is not good. Let's, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll shorten it up with these liquid fuels. That'll be the length of the entire thing. And we'll put on this, this rapier. engine. And maybe cut in some air scoop. What is this? This doesn't list a maximum airspeed. If I'm doing something stupid, then shout it out as soon as you see it. Put that a lot forward. That gives us a little bit more to work with on those. I think those I think that these things are a little excessive. I don't know. It's I mean, yes, technically I should start with a something simple. But I've never been one to holy crap. Okay. Yeah, you're right. We should start with something a lot simpler than this. What am I clicking on here? Evidently, I do not know the limitations of my own imagination. Let's see here. We're just going to build a small airplane. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. That looks proportionate. No, that's... I guess I can build it with structural wings, can't I? Oops. Oh, he's going to step on it. Okay. Yeah, so let's build this with structural wings. That'll kind of give us the most control over the shape. This is too big. Structural wing A, that's the one I just picked. Alright, structural wing type C. That's way worse. Alright, so structural wing type A, we'll put it up here. Right, so that's nice and close to our CG. And then we'll have, I don't know, what's a good one for the tail? I kind of like, what was it? There it is, standard canard. Put that in the back. I'm also going to put a canard in the front, just because I feel like that'll actually serve the purpose of what a canard was initially designed for. That's additional controllability. Yes, elevons on the wings. Good shout, good shout. Elevon 2. There we go. Ah, perfect. And the one thing we're missing is a wing. Or not a wing. Should I go for one of the heavy, one of these heavy guys? I don't know. This one feels kind of... How much does this even produce? This produces 120 kilonewtons of thrust at Mach 0. It's like the weakest engine we could pick. You don't use a weak engine with a delta wing. A delta wing is meant to be high speed. The reason you would do the delta wing is that it actually increases the effective chord of the wing, so to speak. What am I trying to say here? Basically, the thinner the profile, the better it behaves when you get to compressibility close to Mach 1. So basically, by making it a swept back wing or a delta wing like this, the way that the air is kind of moving over it, it behaves like a very thin profile, even if it's thicker, because it's stretched out over such a long area. The basically the delta, whatever angle you've got, is kind of effectively stretching it, so to speak. I could draw it better than I could explain it. All right, here we go. Will this work? All right. It's not quite producing the promised thrust, but it's moving. All right, place your bets now. Will it take off before the end of the runway? Will it take off at all? Will it plunge into the water? I'm not going to stop this flight until it crashes. All right. I hope you placed your bets, because here we go. I'm going to try pulling it up. Oh, it's up. It's off. Off the ground before the end of the runway. Does it plummet into the sea? It's actually it feels pretty stable. And it's entering the compressibility regime. We should probably throttle that back a wee bit. Okay. Alright. I'm willing to call this a success, depending on how controllable it is in this regime. Ah, there we go. We're in a flat spin. Now let's see how well this recovers. Is this recoverable? That's one thing I've always had issues with flying in atmosphere in Kerbal Space, is controllability. As we can see, and probably here, it is not very controllable. That's why I usually kind of avoid using the doing in-atmosphere flight on Kerbal Space Program, because it is considerably difficult to control, even if the design is in theory decent. What do we got? So our center of lift is a little far forward, so it is going to tend to pitch back, but with the canard and with the elevators at the back, that should be sufficient to overcome that. I don't know, maybe I'm just not good at designing planes in Kerbal Space. There's pre-builds, aren't there? I think a couple of these I built. What do we got? Ah, the fourth one. The picnic plane! Oh! I did do it in atmosphere flight. That's right, the picnic plane! It's when they went on a picnic. And then they crashed. And everyone died. And it was a very good picnic. I think this is rounding about the end of the episode here. I just want to revisit the picnic plane. Alright. We have Jebediah Kerman. He's ready to go on his picnic. Been waiting a long time for this picnic. There he goes. Alright. Oh, God. Oh, hey, what are you... Holy crap. We're under attack. Okay. Alright, we're safe. Alright, well, obviously, that didn't work. So, that's going to be it for this episode. I'm the 404 guy, 7HE404GUI. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Feel free to tune in next time. That's going to be tomorrow around noon. Yes, that was a good picnic. That's what matters. Anyway, thanks for everyone who tuned in. Feel free to tune in next time. Feel free to follow or etc. or whatever. But you don't have to, because I don't get paid for this. But have yourself a good day anyway, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a good day. Bye. I mean, as long as it's a good picnic, it doesn't matter if everyone dies. I think that was on Monty Python. There was a Monty Python skit, something similar to that. All right. Mata kondo ne. Arigato. Bye bye.